Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the Dante Elephante Podcast. This is episode 74. I know it's been a little while, but I've had a few updates in my life that I feel like I need to tell you guys all about. It's been crazy month. I feel like I'm finally getting back on track. Jenny and I moved in together. Crazy. I haven't lived with a partner in a while, and it's kind of nice, and it's very chill. She's in the other room. I'm happy. I'm stoked. I'm unbelievably stoked. But coming together and living together has been a goal of ours for a while, and with that comes a lot of moving all that stuff that used to be in my room, which I haven't even finished yet, in my dad's house, to our new location where we are now has been a bigger task than I originally thought it would be. So I'm finally set up, the computer's set up, I'm working from home, I am alive, I am well. Sorry for the long delay. This episode's with foamboy. I did this podcast like a month ago, maybe more than a month ago, when their album came out. Their album is out. It's awesome. Go listen to it right now. I'll put a link in the description of the YouTube video, and just go listen to foamboy. This record's awesome. We get a quick little conversation. We couldn't talk for that long. And then this is also the last podcast I did inside my old room. So for those who felt nostalgic for the room, okay. Well, there you go. This is the last one, but we're moving on. We're feeling good. We're feeling nice. I just went back to the gym. I was going to the gym hard. I went every day for 2 weeks, and then we moved, and then it's taking me a month to get back into it. So today is day 2. We're starting over. We're starting fresh. This is day 2 at the gym. Back-to-back days at the gym. I'm going to a different Gold's gym now. I'm going to the one in a different part of Santa Barbara. I don't really need to tell people where I live. I feel like enough people knew where I lived before, and it was a very visible house on a very visible street, very close to my old high school. So I don't need to tell people now where I live, but I do live in a different part of Santa Barbara, and so it just requires me to go to a new gym. It's very strange. But it feels good. It feels good to be back doing this. I really miss this. We've had a lot of things have happened. A lot of changes have happened. We just played Soho. Sorry I didn't even get to talk about that on here. We played Soho with Alexandra Riordan. She was episode 73. And then Queen Tide was like episode 7 or something. They were on the podcast very early. Go back and listen to those episodes. They're very good. Soho was a great time. Thanks to everyone who came out. It was Halloween weekend. I didn't know what to expect. We sold it out. That is the 4th sellout show in a row that we've done at Soho, and it just feels so good after a string of weird shows on the road. We've had some very weird shows on the road, and if you come to the shows on the road, thank you for coming out to Berkeley, Santa Cruz. Those were weird, but we had a good time. I'm not here to diss anything or anyone. I did that already in a deleted podcast that will not come out. It is forever deleted, where I'm ranting in a hotel room in Reno, Nevada. It's gone. You're never going to hear it. But saying that, Soho was great. Sold out. Awesome. It was an awesome show. Thank you to Valmar Records. They spun all night. Awesome. A perfectly curated gig. And that's what I'm here for. The curation and the good vibes. Dante Elephante on tour with Okie Dokie, Early Eyes, and Clarence James. I will be on the road December 12th through the 18th. Those are the final 2021 dates. Pheonix, December 2nd, Pheonix at the Valley Bar. December 3rd, San Diego at the Soda Bar. The 4th at Los Angeles at Jam in the Van. Shout out to Jam in the Van. I guess, they have a venue outside, so I don't know. I haven't played there yet, so this is the first time. If you're in LA, come see us at Jam in the Van. December 5th, San Francisco, Bottom of the Hill. December 7th, Sacramento at the Starlet. December 9th, Eugene, Oregon, Sessions Lounge. The 12th at Seattle, Washington, the High Dive. The 14th, Spokane, Washington. Lucky you. And lucky you. Here we go. The 15th, Boise, Idaho. I love Boise, Idaho. I'm very excited to be back in Boise, Idaho at the Shredder. I've never played there before. But if you're in Boise, come on out. I love Boise. I will be going to Goldie's. Absolutely going to Goldie's on, I guess that's the main drag there in Boise, Idaho, to get my breakfast, to get my roasted potatoes. I gotta get my potatoes. I'm in Idaho, man. Yeah, okay. And then after that, we go to Salt Lake City. We're playing KILBY Court. Love KILBY. Great venue, great spot. Love the burritos. What's that $2, $3 burrito place in Salt Lake City? So I gotta get burritos while I'm there. Denver, Colorado. We're back. Denver. It was so fun hanging last time. We're coming back at the High Dive. Denver's awesome, man. I think I'm really starting to fall in love with Denver. I think it's just, people always, I guess everyone falls in love with Denver. And maybe I'm late to the party, but like, it was such good. We had such good vibes at the last show in Denver. And I got to, met Dale from Dale's Pale Ale. If you've ever had Dale's Pale Ale before, love those beers. Super good. Okay. And that's the end of 2021. And then we get, the holidays are going to come. Christmas, Thanksgiving, these things are all coming up. And then we hit the road again. January 11th at Sister Bar in Albuquerque. Love Albuquerque. Haven't played Albuquerque in a while. The 13th, Dallas, Texas at Ruins. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys. I will be out there. Hopefully there's a playoff game. I don't know. Let's just see. Let's just put that energy out there. That is with Clarence James. The 14th, Houston, Texas at the White Oak Music Hall. That's also with Clarence James. Bryan, Texas, the Stafford Theater. Never been to Bryan, Texas. This is my first time there. So if you're in Texas, come on out. And then Austin, Texas, the Empire Control Room. These are all with Clarence James. What a world. Okay, the 18th, Lawrence, Kansas, at the Bottleneck. If you're in Lawrence, Kansas, come on out. Bottleneck. Now we're entering a crazy territory here. These next dates are going to be with Early Eyes. Go listen to Early Eyes. Go listen to Halloween 18. Great track. Love that song. Davenport, Iowa. Never been to Iowa. This will be my first time in Iowa. At the Raccoon Motel. I love the name of that venue. The Milwaukee, Wisconsin at X-Ray. We'll be there. Minneapolis, Minnesota, 7th Street entry. Love Minneapolis. This is why I don't talk. This is how rusty I am. I need water, by the way, too. Chicago, Tomorrow Never Knows Fest. Excited for this. Love Chicago. If you are in Chicago and you listen to the podcast, come on out. It's going to be great. Cleveland at MAHALL'S. Love Cleveland. I think I'm the only person who can say that, but I really do. I know nobody else. I tell everyone, I love Cleveland. I think it's a great town. I think it's fun, and they got awful food to eat. Like this whole Midwest is just like cheese and everything that's gonna give me diarrhea. But you know what? I'm cool with that. I'm willing to take the chance. So Cleveland, Ohio, MAHALL'S, Columbus, Ohio, RUMBA, Pittsburgh. I love Pittsburgh. Tell people that all the time. I love Pittsburgh. At the CRAFTHOUSE. Pontiac, Michigan. Never been there. At the PIKE Room. Never been there. That should be new. Grand Rapids, Michigan. Calvin College. Never been to any of these places. These we are entering new waters. Okay, after that we do Nashville, Tennessee at the end. Never been to Nashville. Never been to Tennessee. I'm very excited. Omaha, Nebraska. At the Reverb Lounge. These are all new places. I'm excited. I'm bringing my camera. Hopefully on this West Coast tour in December, I'm hopefully going to do a podcast at every stop, right? There's Phoenix, San Diego, Los Angeles, San Francisco. I could do bands in all those towns. I don't know any bands in Sacramento. Eugene, I could do bands. I really think I can get podcasts on because this is really the dream, right? Dante Elephante goes on tour. I take my gear with me. We do podcasts on the road with bands as I enter their town. I think it's very possible. I don't know. That's always been the dream. That's what I've always wanted to do with this podcast. That's why I've kind of like built it to be kind of like, travelable. So I'm hyped. I'm excited for that. Go to DanteElefante.com/tour and you can get all the tickets. They're all available now. They're all on sale now. So go buy them and come hang out and, we'll have some merch. If you go to hellomerch.com and you're looking for Dante Elephante merch, I kind of took all of them for the shows. We're working on restocking the online store, but if you can't find anything you want on the online store, you're going to have to come to the show because I have everything, and I've pretty much have sold out of everything. The Call Me on the Phone shirts have been selling like crazy in person, which is awesome. Geometric shirt has been selling like crazy. It's awesome. The one thing that's not selling, and maybe I shouldn't be so transparent about this, but I feel like I know you so well, is the Never Trust a Junkie hoodie. Now, I understand. I am never doing a fucking hoodie again. Guys, I'm sorry. Maybe when I put this podcast out, it will inspire some of you to try and buy that hoodie off of me. And I am discounting it now just because I just need them gone. But I am never doing hoodies again. This has been the hardest sell. And maybe I shouldn't have done a zip-up hoodie. Maybe that's where I fucked up. I shouldn't have done a zip-up hoodie. But we live, we learn, we move on, and that's okay. But thank you so much for everyone who's been buying merch. We just restocked the geometric tee and the Call Me on the Phone shirt. So by the time I hit the road, I should have a lot more shirts. It's going to be great. And I'm thinking of more ideas. I need more ideas. If you have an idea, do you have a design or an idea? Send it to me. We'll make it happen. Me and Hello Merch will make it happen. Okay, I have one more announcement before we get to talking to foamboy. I got this little box. You're probably asking yourself, what's that box? I've joined Blast Radio. If you don't know what Blast Radio is a brand new online radio streaming service, right? It's not like Spotify. It's more like, like a social media platform. It's really an online radio station. And I have a show that I don't know what to call it. I might just call it Let's Talk More Rock, Last Resort Radio. I don't know. I haven't thought of a name yet. But I'm going to be streaming on there about like maybe once a week, hopefully, when I'm not on tour. And it's awesome. The good people at Blast sent me over one of these boxes, and I am going to start my show. I'm very excited that they feel confident in me. So please, if you're listening to this, it is Wednesday. I'm going to stream tomorrow, Thursday, the 11th. And come on, listen through. The stream is only up for 24 hours. That's what I like about it. I DJ and I'm going to talk, and maybe I'll have guests on. Maybe I'll replay old episodes of the podcast, whatever the case may be. But I am going to leave it up. It's going to be left up for 24 hours and then it's gone. And I like that. And I like that it's live. It's seriously live. And that's really cool too. I'm very hyped. I think this can be really fun. I think this can be really, really big for, anyone, I guess. So that's what I'm excited for. Blast Radio. Go follow me at Dante Elephante. I'm going to promote it very soon. Okay. Well, that's it. I think that's all I really wanted to talk about, right? Let's just keep it short and sweet. We're rolling back. We're getting back into it. Don't worry. I'm on top of my game again. I'm sorry. I know. I keep... Also, sometimes you have to take breaks for your own mental health, right? You got to take those breaks. You can't grind all the time. And when you're moving, that takes so much energy out of you. I don't know. But either way, I like my new place. I hope you like the background of my new place. And just got my booster. I'm ready to hit the road. Get your booster, get your shots if you haven't already, and enjoy the episode. Okay, this is the first time I've done one of these in Zoom. I've been trying to get off the Zoom. I'm tired of this, to be perfectly honest, but I'll do it for you because I don't know the next time. You're in Portland or Seattle? Where exactly are both of you?
Yeah, around Portland.
Yeah, I don't know the next time I'm going to be in Portland. Maybe soon. I don't know. I just got an email that we got a tour offer that would require us to cancel all of our October shows. Like, because it's like competing shows. I don't know. Have you played live yet? Like, where's foamboy at?
We just put together a group, so we're we're like trying to figure out how to book shows here. I think we just booked 2 for like November and December, but it's been weird and up in the air.
Nice. When did you start the project? When did both of you start the project?
Like 2020 late, like right as COVID hit, we kind of started transitioning from the last project into Foamboy. And then we just put our bands together to play it live, because like all the music was recorded just between me and Katie, just like sending emails back and forth. It was all remote. But yeah, the band just came together like 2 months ago. So
cool.
That's been a whole journey trying to figure out how to like play our stuff live now.
Yeah. And were you comfortable like sending just like stems back and forth with each other and ideas back and forth? Because I feel like that's such a new area for me, because I'm so used to working face to face with somebody else. Like, were you already comfortable with doing that? Did you already operate that way in the past, or?
We kind of did.
Yeah.
We had more live opportunities before, but I feel like it worked pretty well. It definitely results in a different product when you're just sending stems back and forth, but it's a good product. It's just different.
Right. And what are we using to record here? Are we using Logic? Are we Pro Tools? Are we Ableton? Where are we?
We're Logic.
Ooh, yeah.
Or the Logic camp.
Nice. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, I download Pro Tools at the start of the pandemic, and it sucks. It's not fun. It's so brutal. And like, I taught myself video editing in the podcast, and that was a lot easier than Pro Tools, which I should know. I should know how to use Pro Tools, and I couldn't.
Yeah, I feel like audio engineers are like looked down on Logic. Like, I know it's like, it like looks like GarageBand. Like the interface looks like GarageBand.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's a lot of fun.
It's a good songwriting tool, I think, for sure. Where like Pro Tools seems to be in the professional industry more geared towards like classic recording.
Right.
You know, like you're in a studio and like their main interface is like Pro Tools, you know.
I started to understand Pro Tools when I got into like a classic studio and I saw the board and all the other stuff. I was like, oh, it's trying to do this thing, which is somehow less confusing. Like being able to just like twist the actual physical knobs. It's just like so less confusing than trying to like move the mouse on Pro Tools. But it's definitely trying. It clicked. I was like, oh, this is what it's trying to do. It's not trying to, be its own consumer friendly thing. It's like, if you came from this world, this is the next step. This is the easy transition. But like, I don't know, if you're just getting into music recording, like, I don't know. When I was younger in high school, what was the first like DAW you worked on? Like, do you remember the first one you had? Was it Bandcamp or was it something even older?
Oh, I used, if you can count it, I used Audacity to record the first project. It was really sketchy.
I used Reason a long time ago. Reason was sketchy as hell. I think it's still sketchy, dude. But yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I remember we downloaded this licensed version of Cool Edit Pro, and it was awesome. It was already licensed or had all the stuff on it. So yeah, we just illegally downloaded it because you would have to like download. I remember you'd have to download like the demo, and then we would just keep the computer running. So it never like, I don't know. It was a process, man. Recording your music, being DIY in the mid 2000s. I don't know how old both of you are, but I'm 31, and I just remember it being a different time, like that transition from like recording on cassettes to your computer. And being like, and having more accessible digital audio, workspaces. Like it's crazy to think about where we are now and how easy it is, like with Logic, and how cool it is. Like it was tough back then.
Definitely a different world with the amount of people that are able to create music and put stuff out there, especially with like the easy distribution centers and stuff like that,
Yeah. Where do both of you find new music?
I mean, I'm in Apple Music. I'm one of the few Apple Music people.
Yeah, totally.
So I find, because I feel like a lot of my friends find stuff on playlists, and I like don't use playlists at all because Apple Music like isn't hip to that. So honestly, like a lot of YouTube algorithm shit. I watch a lot of YouTube, so a lot of it comes from that, and then also just like looking at what's recommended to me off of artists I already know.
Yeah.
Algorithm
and blues.
I mean, I'm on Spotify. I use Spotify, so same. I remember transitioning from torrenting, music to Spotify.
Yes.
Like, is this going to be worth it? And like now, like, am I really going to drop $5 a month? But,
Totally.
yeah. I use playlists. Like I do enjoy Spotify's Discover Weekly, although like it has some misses. I've noticed lately they tend to shove me songs I've already heard, and I'm like, I know this song. I'm actively ignoring it.
Right.
But also like I think my most transformative like music discovery is just from friends. Will recommends me a lot of really good bands.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I also love I remember when I first got a smartphone and the invention of Shazam really changed the game for me. Being able to just like walk around and be like, oh, what song is that? And then you play it and you're like, oh, that band kind of sucks. But why did I like that song? You know, that happens to me all the time.
I think that's how I first heard of James Blake. He was playing one of the songs off of Overgrown was playing at a Starbucks. And I was like, oh shit, this is sick.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I shouldn't like this. But then, you know, hey, you like it now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that happens all the time. I think there's something about like just music being played loud and maybe kind of distant where you're like, I can't hear it, but I can kind of hear it. So I'm like making like what I want this song to be in my own head. Like I'm romanticizing this song. And then you're like, oh no, this is like a Dropkick Murphy song or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're allowed. You like whatever you like.
I know. Also, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not big on guilty pleasures. Like I just like stuff. Like
exactly.
I had an ex get me into Sex and the City, and that's like I love that show.
Oh my god.
Yeah. But for years, I would say that was like a guilty pleasure. And then one year I was just like, you know what? No, I just like that show.
Yeah, it's just a pleasure.
Yeah, it's just a pleasure.
It's just good.
There's no guilty. Yeah. Oh, man. So you guys started in the beginning of the pandemic. Now you have a band. How big is the band going to be? Are you going to keep it small? Is it big? Where are we at?
Well, I think collaborative wise, it's still going to stay me and Katie in terms of like writing the content. We'll see where it goes with the album release. I mean, we'd love to like be playing more shows and be on the road. That was like something that we've done in the past. That was super fun and felt really nice to do after a release, especially to be able to go on the road and like promote the album. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, we're hoping that like we're trying as much as possible to like expand our audience online right now. Because that seems like one of the few things that we can successfully do with COVID going on.
Yeah, it's I keep telling people this all the time, like, you know, because there's this like fear of like living not in LA or not in like Chicago or New York in one of these like hot cities, but like I think you can easily just grind on the internet, just like put stuff on the internet and just post stuff on YouTube, especially YouTube. YouTube has been a big place I've ignored for the majority of my career. And now I'm like at a place where I'm like, I should just be putting a bunch of stuff on YouTube. Like that is a crazy community and things can just blow because of the algorithm so powerful and they want people to watch your stuff. Like you can get caught up in a wave and people will watch your stuff. I don't know. It's exciting. It's not like Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or anything where it's all kind of like, you know, give us money and we'll show your fans your things. Like,
right.
I like that. And I like TikTok for that same exact reason. Are either of you on TikTok?
Yeah, we don't use it for band promotion. That feels like a Pandora's box to me. We haven't talked about it, but I'm like,
let's talk about it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what we would even do. I enjoy scrolling on TikTok.
Oh,
I can't imagine ever creating one.
The mindless scroll.
I'm a fan of the mindless scroll.
My girlfriend's Fitbit thought she was sleeping. Like that's how turned off you get. Like it literally thought it counted sleeping hours while she was scrolling. And that's a little scary.
That's really scary.
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, my hesitation with making TikTok content as a music creator is like anything on the internet, it is very much look at me content, attention to grabby. And I come across artists who are trying all sorts of gimmicks in order to get noticed. And like TikTok, it feels like it tends to reward kind of seemingly arbitrary things.
Right.
And not to mention, like, there was sort of, I wouldn't call it a trend, but for a while, a lot of artists were saying, please stop scrolling.
Yeah.
Listen to this. And I'm like, this sucks. Like, I hate watching artists.
and then you scroll.
And then you just scroll. As soon as they say that, I just keep going. Like,
scroll quick.
No,
you're manipulating me. Yeah, no, there's a lot of manipulative advertising styles on TikTok that I hate. I personally hate that stuff. And there's this one artist who just got completely dragged the other day because hers was like, guys, my boss told me that I'm never going to make it in the industry and you guys are my only chance. Like, let's blow this up. Like, it's like that kind of manipulative, like, language in your marketing that is just like, yeah, no one cares.
But it sucks that like people obviously want to like make art and like be able to exist just making art. Like, it's perfectly reasonable for someone to like want to make it big via TikTok or via whatever.
Right.
But I hate to see it, and it's not something I'm willing to do. Because it seems like it takes a lot of emotional energy to beg for listeners on TikTok.
Yeah.
We used to do that too, like especially being like, you know, the smaller independent band, like doing all of our own marketing and doing all that stuff, and it was so draining to do. I remember like we were on a train for a while of doing like Instagram videos, like small videos, and they were very tailored towards like the kind of like new age indie jazz stuff that's on there, where it's like people just doing like fun quick solos or like fun little bits of music, and it's all like very edited and stuff, and it got us a lot of new followers, but to do that every day was like
a lot of work,
exhausting, and like didn't feel, I mean for me in the end it didn't feel worth it, because I didn't feel like I was actually creating like good connections with people. Like it almost felt like our audience wasn't that real, because they weren't following us because like they heard our music and it was good, you know. They followed us because like we created a fancy looking tasty video for their eyeballs. Right.
I feel that way about and that's how I feel about people, not necessarily the people who beg for listeners on TikTok, but I've found TikTok like famous bands who definitely have a gimmick. And I have to wonder, like, how does that actually translate to listenership, or do they just make a funny video?
Yeah. That's, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough when you're out there trying to make stuff on TikTok, like, especially when you're just trying to post sincere, like, you know, this is just my music. I'm just putting it out there. I'm not trying to kidnap you emotionally with this hook. It's just like, here's a post of us playing live, or a video here, the video there. It's just like, I guess it's just about being authentic to yourself. And maybe that is their authentic self, is that.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that seems like a lot of work if it's not, because it turns into work really quickly when it's not yourself.
Yeah. It's also like the sad state of like our world, especially in the US, where like the industry of arts is like not that supported at all.
Right.
So like it creates an environment where artists do have to sell themselves. So it's like annoying to see, but it's also like, yeah, of course, like people have to do this in some capacity. To get known, you know, like it doesn't just happen. Like it, you know.
Yeah, the idea
aren't playing in a dive bar and get discovered. Like that's not happening anymore. Yeah.
And when you hear a lot of those stories about like Jewel getting found at a coffee shop, it's like, that was a long time ago. One, that was a long time ago. Two, she's like the only story now, and they just keep bringing up Jewel. But even then, maybe she already knew someone in the industry, and it was, or you don't know the like real backstory of like, yeah, that guy was someone's cousin or someone's uncle, and he just showed because they invited him. And I don't know. I feel like more and more I hear stories about like musicians who are getting like so much help, and like we all get help in a way, but like I've been hearing stories lately of people who are just get like so much help.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to think of that. I don't know. I also don't think about that, and I try not to think about that because I'm just living my own life. But yeah,
like there's so many art, like it does seem to take like wealth and connections,
right,
in order to make it. I guess like and that's just what it's going to take at the current state of the world. But
yeah, I
it
guess so.
definitely sucks. But
Yeah.
also everyone deserves to make art, and like everyone who wants to like make music and like exist definitely deserves it.
Right.
We just happen to live in a society where we're in direct competition with each other.
I know.
There's also a side of it too, where like that environment has created the audience and the listener feels like they deserve something that is like professional and is like good enough for them to give a like to or give a listen to. So it's like, oh, if this band doesn't have so and so numbers on Instagram and doesn't have like this kind of professional you know, music video quality and stuff, then they probably suck and they don't deserve my listen, you know? So that like, and I think that's like ingrained in all of us now, where it's like, we see something like that on TikTok and yeah, we're going to keep scrolling because we're just like, oh, they're not worth it. And there's 100 bajillion of those people out there. So
yeah, and that was like definitely my fear when we first started the band, was like how to get from this band that was playing a dive bar into opening for some band, like whatever band it was we wanted to open for at the time. Like how to get from there to there, that big jump, and to people thinking we're like legit. What does that mean to be a legit band, you know? And I have a question for both of you. What did you think of before you know, right when you wanted to start playing music and like being an artist, like what did you think that was going to be? And what is it now? Chris Cohen asked me that question and it blew my mind it's still blowing my mind and I still don't have an answer for it. So.
I'm sure it changes a lot of times too for everyone.
Yeah.
For me, I think, and this kind of just reflects like the transition we made from our last band into the current duo, but I definitely was like more intense about music like 3-4 years ago than I am now. And I think the thing I was just saying too about like audiences feeling like they deserve something. I feel like that can also be on the flip side. Like as a young musician playing a show and feeling like you deserve like a big audience and you deserve like a lot of praise when like you haven't put in the work. At least that was like my experience. I feel like when I look back on what we were doing 3 years ago, it was like fine. It like wasn't great, you know?
Yeah.
But definitely like feeling a lot more serious, like, damn, like, why aren't people like listening? Why aren't people sharing this? Like, it's so good. And it like wasn't that good. So maybe it's just like a part of like growing up and maturing. Like, I don't know. I feel very relaxed about it now. Like I kind of focus more on just like making the music good and not worrying about the marketing side of things, you know?
Well, when I was 16, that was when I like discovered indie music and like had my whole moment, and started songwriting. And I guess at the time I thought being a musician would mean like moderate, like just very modest fame. I just wanted, I envisioned just a life in which I wouldn't have to work and would just have to like do music. And that's still something I envision. It just seems, well, a couple things. It seems pretty like hard to find, but also it seems difficult as a lifestyle as well. Like I don't think I registered until fairly recently that music itself is work. And as I've gone through my life with all my like day jobs, I've noticed that those day jobs do actually take it out of me, and I don't necessarily have the like emotional energy or creative energy to do as much music as I would like. I guess it is work. I guess what changed for me from 16 to now is that I didn't realize music was work. doesn't mean it's bad, but it's definitely work.
It's absolutely work. Like, and that's something I think about all the time. Like when you're just sitting in that van for 8 hours or that car because you didn't rent a van. Now you guys are all just squished in a car. Like how much work that is. And it sounds like pretty easy, right? You just sit in the car and you get to the venue and you play the show. But there's so much more that goes in between. Like especially now when you can just work on your phone and like hoping, and then you're stressing that the ticket. Oh my God, I hope the ticket's sold. I hope people are gonna be there. Like, you know, if we didn't sell enough tickets, are we pissing off this agent? Are we pissing off this venue? Like there's so much other things that can go around it. It's such a mental war, you know, such a mental game, as much as it is physical. Getting, you know, trying to find those times on the road where you can eat healthy when you can't work out. Like it's tough. It's a lot of work. And then you got, after you stress yourself out on the road, oh, now I have to go write more songs and I have to go back to my day job that like luckily they let me leave for like 2 weeks or like, you know, like, and then you get back to that day job and then they act all weird around you. They're like, oh, Mr. Rockstar. And then they have all these like random jokes. I don't know. At least from my personal experience, that's what I've experienced. Like people acting different to you because you went on tour and it's like, it's not glamorous like you think it is. Please do not think it's this crazy party. It's like, you know, yeah, I don't know.
I was going to say that sounds like a personal experience.
It's a very personal experience. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you mean though. Like people do make comments like,
right,
ooh, like you're in a band. So I'm like,
yeah,
barely anything. Like we're trying. I don't know.
I know. I like to project onto people. It's like my favorite thing.
No, it's super fun.
Yeah. It's the best. So when's the record coming out? The record's coming out soon.
October 1st.
Oh,
yeah.
Are we excited? Is there going to be vinyl? Where can people buy it?
People can listen to it on any of the streaming platforms. Okay. It'll be free on Bandcamp. We're not doing any physical stuff. That was kind of part of like, without being able to tour, it was kind of like, do we want to do any physical merch? So we're going to wait on that for now. We might do stuff for the album in the future if that's like a demand that people want. But
I have been obsessed with the idea of making shirts. You know, I like a nice shirt design and you can make them and yeah, you make more money on the shirts than you do the records anyway. So like, I love having like nice, cool shirts that people want to wear. That's like a goal. It's like, okay, can we make this cool where people just want to wear it? Not because it's a band shirt, because it looks cool. Like, yeah, I've been obsessed with that side of merch recently. And like thinking of like weird merch ideas. Do you guys have a weird merch idea?
Do we?
No.
I mean, there's cool stuff. I think I was thinking about temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd be sick.
That's cool.
Especially with the art you did too.
Yeah, I did this. I like did art for like each track on the album.
Oh, really?
I like drew a little thing and they kind of look like tattoos. So we could, I don't know how much it costs to.
Yeah, it must be easy. It's just ink in that sticky paper. So right? it should be like 10 cents, 25 cents a piece or something. I don't know.
That said, like merch is such a, you have to buy it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you're catching us in a very not good financial space.
Oh yeah.
Like in terms of the end of our promotion for the album. We're like,
I know. I get it.
Money.
Please stream the album. Please stream.
Yeah.
So we can make our coin on Spotify. I have another like.
Yeah, let's hear it.
It's not like it's nothing that serious, but I made shirts. I like bought a like $40 screen printing kit.
Oh.
And like you like have to cut the stencils with an X-Acto knife. Like that's how sketchy it is. And I was buying shirts from. I was like posting on my Instagram story, like, does anyone want a shirt? And then if people said yes, I would go to Goodwill.
Cool.
And buy like a t-shirt that would fit them that they wanted and then screen print on it. And that was really fun and so much work, but I thought it was super cool. At least like different. And I hate the idea of like putting more new t-shirts into existence.
Right.
A lot of t-shirts already exist.
Totally. Yeah. And it worked. The $40 kit, the $40 screen printing kit.
Yeah, it's cool. You just like there's the screen, there's like the silk screen, and then you just like put a stencil under it and just like squeegee the ink across.
Whoa.
Like, it's a thing. It's super cool. I had a ton of fun. A lot of my shirts failed and like didn't look good, but the ones that did look good, like,
they look good. Yeah.
And I like, I could envision, I was actually thinking about this this morning. I was thinking about some design ideas for us if I decide to do that for Foamboy. It was really fun, and I felt very sustainable.
Yeah. Oh, about doing it that way again for some new shirts.
Yeah, I would do it again. It was fun.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. So you guys had a project before. How different is the sound from the project before to the new project? Is it different? I haven't heard the old project.
Yeah, it's like it was just very evident that we both did the jazz program at Willamette.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. It was a little experimental.
Yeah, it was like all over the place. It was like we did everything from like more like classic jazz, like Latin grooves, to fucking psych rock, to metal, to indie pop.
Right.
So it was like all over the board. And that was like the fun thing about it too, is that we were just, you know, creating with our friends and doing all sorts of weird shit and trying to make it like glue together in a fun way, and recording in our basement. And, you know, like it was a very college band vibe. Totally.
And do you think you've found your sound, as they say?
I don't think there's a finish line.
Yeah.
And already from what we like, even in the year or so that we spent sending demos back and forth, the nature of them changed.
Mm-hmm.
We had a disco phase, and it shows. Like, it's definitely always changing.
Right.
I don't think there's a finish line. I don't think there's a sound.
Totally. Yeah. Well,
I think at the very least we found something that definitely works better than what was working.
Yeah.
Especially with Katie's voice, because Katie kind of has like a more unique voice than most people. So finding ways that like kind of fit her vocal style is a thing. Yeah, totally.
Not something I think about.
So did you record the whole project by yourself then? Or did you go into a studio? Was there any way to get into a studio? Oh, we're going to end in 10 minutes. So yes.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty wacky because of COVID. And that's kind of why, like, we were originally going to put out an EP and it just got delayed because of like not being able to record. So we were getting into a studio to record like bits and pieces of it, like drums one session and then piano another session. And that was happening like once every 2 months. And, you know, and that was like during the height of COVID when the vaccine wasn't out. So it was like making sure that the person we were with was like, you know, into wearing masks and had not like been in contact with anybody for 2 weeks. So it was like a whole thing. But yeah, most of it was recorded just through my DAW, and
cool.
And then there were just some live instruments like drums and piano and horns and strings, and that's about it.
Oh, drums are the hardest part to track, man. The hardest part, the mic. I don't know. It's just hard to get like a drum sound. Like I know the drum sounds I like. I just don't know how to get them.
Right? Yeah.
It's tough.
Yeah, the mixing for like every instrument is like a whole world.
Right.
I feel like I definitely envy the pop producers that have like a dedicated mixer for each instrument, you know?
Totally.
And they know how to get that perfect sound and
super dialed in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like the horns are tough for me because I don't know. I've recorded horns a couple times. So I'm just like, are they supposed to sound like this? I guess they're supposed to sound like this. This is what they sound like, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All right, then.
Not something we touch. I mean, we work with someone who does most of our mixing.
Cool.
It's great.
That's awesome. All right, well, we are going to wrap it up. The record comes out October 1st on your Bandcamp. I guess shoot me the link. I'll put it in the link in the bio. Okay. But where else? Where else can people find you? Instagram. This is your time to shout it out.
Yeah, we're on Instagram. Handle is foamboy band. We're on Facebook, but that's where we're least active. Yeah, that's pretty much most of our.
Come to the Instagram.
Come to the Instagram. Yeah.
We got a YouTube. We got some music videos. We got one coming out in a few days. So
cool. Oh, awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. It's nice and early in the morning. Thank you both for waking up with me.